He makes his lessons meaningful so that students are engaged and excited. Brad's ability to understand each child's individual learning needs is exemplary. He reflects on each child's learning style and adjusts his teaching to fit those needs. For example, a few children in his class need to enhance their reading skills, so Brad reads with them individually daily to do that. This is continuing during this time of virtual learning. The students are engaged and Brad's passion is clearly evident. Another child finds it easier to stand while Mr. Shillington teaches, so they stand while he is in front of the class. No matter what an individual student may require to learn, Brad allows them to shine. Another gift Mr. Shillington shares with his students and parents is a gift of community. He develops positive relationships with both his students and their parents beginning on the first day of the school. This positive relationship continues to grow as the year progresses, and his class feels heard and supported each and every day. With his caring and dedicated demeanor, he is always willing to take the time to support students who are having friendship difficulties or those students struggling to understand a particular concept in the classroom. Brad often can be seen in the gym, hallway, and in class interacting with his students, helping them to grow as learners and citizens. Most recently, Brad's leadership with technology was shared freely and patiently with the staff as we've been going through this interesting teaching and learning situation. This positive relationship with the school community fosters a comfortable, caring, and safe classroom and community. Another gift that Brad instills in his students is a gift of service. One of the Rotary Club's foundations is service, and one of these avenues of service is through the community. Mr. Shillington ensures that his classes make a difference in the school as well as in the larger global community. His commitment to guiding children through this process is outstanding. He teaches the children the importance of volunteering, cooperation, and sharing their talents with others and in the St. Albert community. They have been involved in supporting the Canadian Cancer Society and St. Albert Food Bank, community potluck dinner, participating as assembly presenters, and connecting as cross-age buddies. Seeing their interactions with the community reinforces the importance of how connections in the community build compassion, tolerance, and patience, important values that Brad shares and models in his classes daily. Brad also actively and enthusiastically serves his school community. He was instrumental in setting up the Joseph Demko Phys Ed program, numeracy manipulatives and science material, as well as technology programming. As many of you may know, Joseph Demko is in the first year of running. I guess we can say the first 7 months. Brad has provided countless hours to ensure Joseph Demko was ready to open on time and run smoothly. In addition, Brad coaches our running relay team, is a leader in the technology area, and spearheads many intramural activities for students. His involvement reflects his commitment to our school community. In closing, Brad is an expert teacher. All of the important gifts that he passes on to his students provides them with the encouragement and power to gain confidence, love learning, and develop important life skills. Brad Shillington is so deserving of the Rotary Teacher of the Month special recognition. Thank you.
Thank you, Les, for those kind words.
Doug.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good morning, everybody. Laz, can you hear me in there? Am I unmuted?
We can hear you, and Brad's on mic too.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. And it's always a great day when we get the opportunity to do a Teacher of the Month. So many teachers have come before us, and when we celebrate these events, it's a real special time. As strange as it is to be doing this on a Zoom meeting versus importance, you don't get the usual Doug, Dog, and Pony show that I'm used to presenting. So I'm going to do my very best to work with what we have. Les, when you speak about Brad, you talk about his meaningful passion that he has for students. And I can't help but think how in these crazy times, all the different partners in our program that we do with the Teacher of the Month come together. When we think of the Rotary and how it supports the local schools through the supplying school supplies to kids that can't afford them. We think about the involvement of the St. Albert Gazette, who is another partner in this program, and how they get that information out on what the parents need to know. And Staples, as we work together as to help out the students as well with supplies and all the other things. I'm just amazed that everybody comes together. And I think that's a big part of this. And it's truly fascinating to see a community come together as much as we have. So I sincerely appreciate the opportunity to express my appreciation for what you do in the community. It's really something else. And we can't do it unless we all work together. And I think at the end of the day, it's something that we can do and we will do and we'll be very successful for it. So now, Brad, I dropped off a little bag for you yesterday. Did you happen to get that?
Yes, I do. I have it right here. Thank you.
So someone say, hey, what's in the bag, Doug? And let's open up that bag, Brad, and let's first show them.
Show us what's in the bag, Doug.
There we go. The plaque is, the plaque company's out of business. So you get a framed award. There you go. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Now, if you dig a little deeper into that bag, there's some funny stuff in there, and it's very timely for what's happening today in the world. So there's something that you want to use for cleaning things, Brad. You want to pull that out for me? Oh, and look at that. That's some hand sanitizer. And that's from a local company that brought them over to us because we helped them. Look, Lysol wipes, eh? You've never seen me give away Lysol wipes before. And then there's a bunch of other little swaggy things in there, some Sharpies and things. But there's an envelope in there, Brad. You want to pull that envelope out? There's something awesome in there. So now you have to do it a la Johnny Carson, eh? And rip it. There you go. Blow on it. Open it up. And reach inside. And what are you going to find? Oh, my goodness. It's a $100 gift card from Staples. Isn't that fantastic?
Thank you very much. That's awesome.
Brad, you're very welcome. And I want to thank you, and I want to thank Demco School for your continued support in the community. As we support the local businesses, as Jennifer can speak to, it's a very big deal for us. The more we do to keep working with our local businesses, the better off we are. So together, we can make this happen. So Brad, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you, Rotary, for inviting us today, and for Les for doing such a beautiful speech. It's a different time to teach for sure. Never thought, I've been teaching for 25 years and I never thought I'd be doing it this way. The kids have been awesome and fantastic about it though. And as we go, we keep pushing forward and doing what we can for all the kids and making sure they can learn. And I enjoy and I love doing what I do. And I'm lucky enough to be in a beautiful new building, and our district is backing all of our teachers, and we have a fantastic staff here that help out. So it makes teaching easy and makes doing what we do every day a lot easier to do. So thank you for everything Rotary does for our community. I try to make sure our kids give back every day and understand the idea of community. It's an important aspect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brad, and thank you, Les, for introducing him. And thank you both for the great job that you're all doing. So now I'm going to turn it over to Charlene, who is going to introduce our presenter this morning.
I'm going to introduce Bettina, but maybe, I don't know, Danielle, do you want to maybe talk about Bettina a little bit?
Do I want to talk about Bettina a little bit? I definitely can. So I have the privilege of being Bettina's inbound counselor while she's here in Edson. Also, she stayed with my family as a backup. So she stayed with us. We were her second host family, and we had an amazing time with her. She is a very bright and lovely young lady. And I think the Rotary Club of Edson has been really lucky to have her in our community this year. Unfortunately, with COVID, exchange has changed what it should look like for a lot of people. But she's doing the best that she can through all of this. She's moved on to a new family, so that's something for her to look forward to. So new relationships to build. And the snow's finally melted in Edson, so she can go out for runs again. Myself personally, though, I just wanted to thank you, your club, for your help in the contribution that you made to, or for paying for Bettina's trip this year. It means a lot to myself and our club. We have a smaller club here in Edson, so we don't really have the means to pay for all the extras. So we really appreciate you paying for that and giving her the opportunity to go to Winnipeg with the other exchange students.
So for those of you who don't know, Bettina is from Switzerland, and the majority of our students have gone back or are back. And Bettina has been lucky enough to stay on with us in Canada. Her host family, the brother was in Switzerland and he has now returned home. So she has him at home with her now. But why don't you take it away, Bettina?
All right. Hi, and it's so nice to finally meet you all through this different way, but still nice to see you. And yeah, thank you so much at first for, like you said, sponsoring my trip to Winnipeg. It meant a lot for me and I learned a lot, and I will show you all about what I learned later. I put together some pictures from Winnipeg, from my exchange, from a little bit about me. So I'd like to share that with you right now. Let's see if we can pull this off. All right. I think you should see the screen, PowerPoint, hopefully.
We do.
Awesome. All right, so yeah, my exchange here in Canada. First, I will talk a little bit about me so you have an idea who I am and what I do, whatever. Yeah, I'm from Switzerland. That's that tiny little country in the middle of Europe. It's actually 16 times smaller than Alberta itself, which is yeah, which is crazy. And on the right hand side you see the even smaller village I'm from. There's about 2,000 people living in there, but you can see Switzerland is really compact, so the next town is like 5 minutes over, and Zurich, a bigger city, is half an hour from me, so it's not that much of a small town feeling. And yeah, and I've decided to become an exchange student in Canada, in beautiful Edson. Not that beautiful, but I still love it. Yeah, that is me there. My family in Switzerland. I just told you that I'm Swiss, but I'm actually not really Swiss. My dad is from Germany, my mom's from China, and yeah, we're a family of 5. I can proudly say now that that is one of my families now, the original one. Now I have more, which is really nice. And yeah, my 2 sisters, me with my parents and my family. Yeah, and a little bit more about what I like to do. I like to swim. I swam competitively for 6 years now or something. I've played the piano since 1st grade. I really enjoy doing that. I enjoy every other outdoor activities, hiking, skiing, what else is there out to do? And I'm one of those weird kids in school who really enjoy math. Yeah. And yeah, I believe that the world is really huge and I've only seen very little of it. So that is why I've decided to become an exchange student and do this. So now, yeah, and this decision for me to be an exchange student is, I'd say, one of the best decisions so far I've made. I've learned so much. Among other things, I learned a lot in my trip to Winnipeg, which was possible thanks to you. So I'd like to share some picture of this awesome trip. So that was Winnipeg. We spent most of the time in the Human Rights Museum, which you see on the left, that really nice building. And yeah, there was 9 of us exchange students there and 1 out, like a rebound, that's the word. yeah, we had fun. And yeah, here's the Human Rights Museum where we spend most of the time. It was all about human rights, obviously, but human rights is a really big theme. So there was women rights, there was a lot of failures of human rights. So when we fail to prevent, like, give human rights to people, which was really heavy, to be honest. Just the next slide show, we had a lot of genocides which I never heard about, to be honest. And yeah, we did some about the Nazi, we did about women rights, about a lot about indigenous rights in Canada especially. And yeah, I've learned a lot. I've heard some stuff I've never heard of. And even the Rebound, who's a student here in Canada, said she's never heard about some of the things we addressed there. And yeah, so that way I gained a lot of knowledge. Yeah, it wasn't all very hard themes though. The picture on the left shows, that was one of my favorite illustrations in the whole museum. It was a timeline, and each of those blocks represents an achievement in the goals of human rights. And we are at the end and we have all those achievements, which makes us really appreciate the time we live in and all the privileges we have. Yeah, so I thought that's really beautiful. And the artwork on the right, I just thought it's cool because each of those little things, it's a clay in the hand of somebody compressed, and they were assembled together by an artist to make this whatever it is. It looks different to every individual being. So yeah, that was our time in the museum. And then out of the museum, and we had lots of fun. We went skating, which was awesome. I'm not a really good skater, but it was still fun. We went to the Forks Market, which is a beautiful building. I love that. It's it was little local shops in there, good food. I love food. Yeah, we also went to a board game cafe, and we played it's really cool. You have this huge amount of games where you can choose from and play games while eating supper. So that was pretty awesome. We also had a tour from Rotary there. A Rotary Club from Winnipeg gave us a little tour of the city, and I have to say, I didn't expect Winnipeg to be that beautiful, but I mean, look at it. Isn't that beautiful? It was really nice. It snowed a couple days, 2 days or something, but then also we had nice weather, so that was awesome. Yeah, and then of course a big part about going there was seeing all the other exchange students again. We have that really good bond because we're all in the same situation, and they're all very nice people. A lot of them have gone home now, sadly, but I still talk to them, and I can say that I've made friends for my life. So yeah, that was a big part about going to Winnipeg. Yeah, so again, huge thank you for giving me that opportunity to live through all that, to experience all that, to gain all of this knowledge out of this. And that was Winnipeg, and I'd like to show some pictures about the other time of my exchange. I have to say that I've been given the opportunity to do a lot of different things throughout that year, and I can't pack that all in a slideshow. So the next couple pictures are just some highlights from my exchange, and there's so much more which I've done and had fun. And yeah, my first family took me to Vancouver and Vancouver Island, and which was awesome. I can't say how thank you I am. And yeah, I saw one of the greatest things I saw there was the salmon run, which is really impressive. There was this river and it was just filled with salmons wobbling around, and I've never seen something like that, but it was beautiful. Yeah, we also took a ferry and we saw some I think it was orcas and another kind of whales, so that was pretty impressive. And yeah, Vancouver Island, I find that the flora is really different to what we have in Alberta. And yeah, the trees are huge there and it's really beautiful. Some more pictures of Vancouver. We went to the Capilano Suspension Bridge, which was really fun too. Yeah. Next, we had a ski trip to Jasper with the Rotary Club again. And yeah, we had lots of fun just skiing around in Jasper. That's basically all we did for 2 days with the exchange students. It was fun because some of them didn't know how to ski, and then we could help them a little bit, and then we would go, the better skiers or snowboarder would go just skiing in the trees. And Jasper is a really beautiful ski hill, so I enjoyed that. Also, my second host family, which is Danielle, they took me to Banff. We did lots there, lots of activities. We went skating on Lake Louise, which is like the Canadian thing, which was awesome. We went snowshoeing and we hiked to see some frozen waterfalls, which I've never seen frozen waterfalls before, but they're just so stunning and beautiful because they're frozen, and yeah, they're just beautiful. I love them. Yeah. Next, I went with Danielle. She took me to Montreal and Ottawa because she's from Ottawa. And yeah, we had an awesome time there. We just basically walked around the streets, explored all different quarters of the city. And Montreal, I really like Montreal. It's more of an older city. It's more European style, I would say. Yeah, very beautiful. We ate a lot of food because we both love food. Yeah, that was Montreal. There's the food, poutine. I love poutine. And those are 2 pictures from Ottawa, which is a really beautiful city. Yeah, unfortunately, the Parliament Hill was closed due to constructions, so we didn't get to see that. So that was a little disappointing, but we still saw it, so yeah. And then another place which gets way too, doesn't get the recognition it should get, Edson, of course. This is where I've made all the friends, where I've made the memories and stuff, so yeah, my friends, I played volleyball, and I mean, this picture just speaks for itself. -52, feels like -52. That's quite an experience, I would say. And yeah, I was glad I got to do that, because then I could tell all my friends, look what I've survived. And yeah, now I'm ready for summer though, definitely. And yeah, another big part of my exchange, I would say, is the families, because it's just amazing how they like take me in and welcome me and let me be part of their family. And yeah, so here, that was my first host family. That was on my birthday. That was, we did an game, I forgot what it's called, on Christmas. My second host family, that was in Banff on Lake Louise on Christmas, and my little brother on Christmas again. I've never had brothers. Here I've had 7 or something brothers now, and it's kind of cool. I like having brothers. They're not as annoying as I thought, but yeah. That was my third host family, the ones I'm with now. And yes, they are not Oilers fans, but I hope you still talk to me. Don't, yeah. Now there's pictures that was from Easter, and yeah. So I think that's it. I will try to go back to the Zoom meeting. There we go. Yeah, so that was a little insights from my exchange. And again, thank you so much for sponsoring my trip to Winnipeg. It meant a lot to me. Just the opportunity to learn and get together with the exchange students. Yeah, so do you have any questions or something? I'd love to answer them.
I was just going to let you guys know this is Edson's first year having an exchange student in a long time. So Danielle was good enough to bring this program back to their club. Danielle's had to leave us because she has some exciting news. She's expecting a baby in October, and the specialist is coming to Edson today. So she had to leave us. And she says, thank you again very much for all the club's done. She can't wait to see us in person. And then anyone else who has questions?
I think she did a fabulous job, and I'm so glad that she had such a wonderful opportunity to see so much of Canada. That was an excellent presentation.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah.
What is your favorite part of Canada so far that you've seen and or done?
Favorite part of Canada. I think personally it's like the people here. The people here are really nice. I thought it's just that like people say that Canadians are nice, so I didn't expect Canadians to be that nice when I came here, but they're really welcoming and funny. So yeah, plus moose are just awesome. Yeah.
Have you seen any bears?
I haven't seen bears, no,
They're
unfortunately.
coming out now.
Yeah, they're sleeping still, right? They should wake up soon though. Yeah.
Maddie, you got to go to the Human Rights Museum. Do you have anything with Bettina to share or anything?
I just like everything that she said was so true. I feel like we learned so much in a really short time, and even more than a year later, I still think about what I learned and try to like use that in my everyday life, because we can like always improve ourselves. So everything that she was saying, I was like, yeah, that was like, I'm so glad she got to go on the trip, because that for me it was like one of the best ones.
I agree. It was definitely a really nice trip, and I'm so glad I got to go.
So can I just ask one question? You said some of the exchange students have already gone back. How did they decide who went back and who stayed? Was it your choice?
Some of the Rotary clubs back home told them to go home or even canceled all the exchange, I think. So yeah, I think there's only the girl from Austria. She's still here, even though I think she's going against her governmental advice, because the Austrian government said everybody abroad should come home, and then the one from Finland is still here. But personally, with my like Rotary Switzerland said that Switzerland is really bad with COVID, so I got an email a couple of weeks ago saying that I'm better off staying wherever I am instead of going through the airport and risking my family's, and yeah.
Okay.
We just had one student go back to Italy, and the only way he got back to Italy, he was up in Dawson Creek and in Port St. John, is it, Laszlo?
Yeah.
And Pepe had to go back because a government plane came to pick up all the Italians. So that's how he left. And he had to come through Edmonton and then got on the plane. And from what Myrna was telling me, I think there was about 12 people on the plane or in the airport. But yeah, so he had to get on a government plane to go home.
That's crazy. Yeah, I hope I don't have to do that. I want to experience summer in Canada. I want some sun after all this snow.
I have a question. How was your schooling in Canada compared to in Switzerland? And are you doing the online right now, or is it forgotten?
Okay, first of all, school here is so much better. We get to choose what option, like what classes are we taking, what options are we taking. The options are just awesome. The teacher are really nice, friendly, and yeah. So plus school only goes to 3, and in Switzerland my school goes to 5 every day. So that way I really enjoyed school here. And yeah, right now I'm taking one online class. I dropped another one because it just doesn't really make sense for me to go on an online class. I mostly go to school here to socialize with people, to see my friends again and talk to them. Yeah, so I'm still in math right now because, like I said, I just like math. Yeah.
And when you get back home, do you still have more school, or will you be going to university?
Yeah, well, in Switzerland we have 13 years of school. So I'm skipping grade 11 because I'm here. So I will still have 2 more years when I go back home, which is a lot and insane, and I'm not that much looking forward to it.
And do you know what you want to do as a career?
Not really, no. I like science, so I probably would go in that direction, go to university. I don't really know for what, but yeah, still have 2 years to figure that out. So yeah, I'll try that. Yeah.
Bettina, that was a great presentation. I really enjoyed it. And it was interesting, the number of the places that you've been to in Canada. I've had the good fortune to visit as well, so I brought back some memories, and you've been to some places that I haven't been to, so that's a pretty cool part of exchange. Just kind of curious, is there anything that you've learned or developed from a cultural perspective or grown as an individual that from Canada that you want to take back when you go back home and kind of bring that Canadian touch back to Switzerland?
Yeah, definitely. I think what I've learned is that, or what Canadians taught me to do is, you guys are really spontaneous. You say, let's go to Jasper, and then you go to Jasper. Let's go for a hike, and then you go hike. And so yeah, that just like in Switzerland, I always was like, okay, I need a plan, and it takes me like 3 weeks to do a plan, and then I do it, which is really boring. And here you're just like, let's do it. So I think kind of that mindset a little bit, and also just talking to strangers. You guys, when you stand in line somewhere, you just start talking to the person next to you, make friends, and which is awesome. And yeah, I think a little bit of that too. And yeah. All right.
I love that observation. That's wonderful.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
And I see we have
have a
Zoe
question.
with us this morning as well. Do we have Zoe?
Hi.
So Zoe, as you know, is our rebound, and she was actually sent.
And you're cutting out, so I'm just gonna.
Go ahead, Charlene.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was me or her. Okay. Zoe, why don't you tell your story about coming back quickly from your exchange, and it wasn't your choice, and we're definitely going to hear your long story, but give us a quick rundown.
Yeah, I'll do the short story. So basically, when I was on my ski trip in Italy, we realized that there was an outbreak in Italy, and we were like, oh my gosh. And that's kind of the first time that I ever really even considered coronavirus affecting anything in my life or my exchange. It was fine. We finished our ski trip and we went back. And then about 2 weeks later, it really started booming in Belgium and the rest of Europe. We could really see it. The government couldn't really decide what to do for a really long time. And I was staying up one night, sitting on the couch with my host parents for about 6 hours, waiting to see what the government had decided, like if we were doing a lockdown or not. Also, Belgium doesn't have a government, so that's why I think it was really prolonged. Like, it could have been stopped like a long time before that, but it didn't happen. Anyways, they decided to stop school and make us go into lockdown. And then I was like, okay, this will be good. We're going to go into the 3-week lockdown. And then after, everything will be okay. I'll go to Greece. Everything will be great. I'll finish my exchange. And then literally just a few days after that, I got a call saying that I had to come home in like less than 48 hours. And I just had to pack everything up and come home. It was really, it really sucked. Obviously I didn't want to do that, but I understand. It's just, it's really hard. I haven't really processed it all yet. I kind of like keep it all in the back. I'm just trying to make life feel as normal as possible right now, but yeah, that's how I came home.
And Zoe got really sick when she came home, and not with COVID. And so she's had some challenges with that. She had strep and mono.
Yeah.
And so on top of not being happy and being sad, she's home. She's been very ill. So, but I think we'll come back around, right, Zoe?
Yeah, no, I the last 2 weeks I've gotten a lot better, but yeah, it was pretty scary in the beginning, especially because we didn't know if I had COVID or not, and there was a pretty high chance. Like, I was in contact with lots of people. I was in Italy. I was in airports. So, but I was fine. So.
How do we decide who comes and who stays in place? Like, who makes that call and how is that all arranged? Does anybody know that?
Well, for me, so like our district right now, we still have 2 outbounds in Europe, the girl that's in France and the girl that's in Austria. And that's not because of numbers or anything. It's worse there than it was in Belgium. But their host countries have given them the option to stay or to leave. And for me, Belgium canceled my exchange. So they sent everyone home. And then I think Myrna, the exchange governor, she also decided for a few people when it was necessary for them to come home. But yeah,
Belgium has the most exchange students in, I think, around 250 in a country.
Yes, we have the most exchange students in the world.
Right?
Yes.
And so I think Belgium Maddie, am I right? Belgium Rotary decided that everyone had to go home?
You're on mute, Maddie, I think.
Maddie, you have to take yourself off mute.
Maddie, you're on mute.
Oh. Oops. So I know my so the district where like I'm from and Zoe was, they send like the majority of the people home, but they send people when it was safe for them to go home.
Yeah.
But I know my club still has an exchange student because she's from Ecuador and the family asked for her to stay here because it's so much safer for her to be here than being sent home.
Yeah, it's been really messy. Basically, they told us that we all had to go home as soon as possible. And then when Myrna had already booked my flight and everything, when Myrna was like, okay, you're coming home, Belgium was like, you have to go home. Belgium actually said, if you guys can't find flights, you're allowed to stay until this date, but you need to be gone by then. But then Belgium saw that the other two districts decided to not force people to go home. So my district actually changed their minds after they told everyone that they had to go home, and they said, you can stay if you want. So at this point, about half of the exchange students in Belgium have gone home, but I still have lots of friends who are there. And it's kind of just up to them and their families, or they're waiting for their districts at home to force them out. But it's really messy.
This is the most unusual situation that I would say Rotary International Exchange has ever faced. And so I think it's been a challenge in each district. But Tina, I think your decision was made with your family, right? To stay?
Yeah, I've talked to my family lots those couple days where everybody was being sent back home, and also my host family, and yeah, they just realized.
Again, yeah, the host families had to agree, right, to keep you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course I can't just stay here. And they don't want me
yeah.
anymore. Yeah, no, I talked to them lots, and they just realized it's I'm happier that I stay here. So yeah, but it was a hard couple days because I just didn't know what was going on. Right now still, like they could say anytime that I have to go back. So yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy every minute I have left here.
Right, which is what happened to Pepe a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah, exactly. Came out of nowhere, and yeah.
Billy said, there's a plane, you better get on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Well, thank you very much. It was great to hear from the exchange students, and most of us are concerned about getting locked out of our offices. We don't really think of how devastating it is on some of our exchange students.
And so, can I have a
yep,
just to include Rebecca here? She was supposed to go to Belgium for 2021 exchange year. That's been canceled. I don't know if everybody's aware of that, but we're going to try, if she wants, to get her going the year after 2021, 22. So so it's been very difficult for her to the disappointment and whatnot. So there you have it. Rebecca, do you have anything to say there, girl?
I think we can all just agree that COVID sucks. Yeah, there isn't much to say about it.
Yeah, I know you're disappointed there. Yeah.
Yeah, but I understand. Like it was.
Well, yeah,
necessary.
And you're not the only one too. I mean,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, birthdays and anniversaries. Mark, do you have birthdays and anniversaries?
Does. We have Mr. Underhill coming up for his birthday on April 29th. Kevin, big shout out there. Judy McKinn, wife of Spanky, is on the 19th. Anniversaries today is Elaine and Tony Porter, 49 years. And coming up on the 26th, Spanky and Judy, 47 years. Years joined Rotary, David Dooley on the 17th is 5 years. And Tony Porter was this back on the 15th, 43 years. So that's what I got.
Thank you. Any chair's announcements? Mark?
Actually, I have one quick one. I've been getting a lot of questions about RibFest and where that's at. I was assuming for a long time that it was just going to be canceled. But I was contacted by the Rib teams, it was like late last night, and they have this model that they're looking at for kind of a drive-through RibFest thing where people don't leave their vehicles. They have their teams set up in 2 lines. They serve them. We can still sell beer in that model. I've reached out to the city just to see if that's even something that we could explore. But as you can imagine, these guys are just getting crazy creative because they don't want to lose their whole season. But you know, with Folk Fest and other major events, K-Days being canceled, it's certainly hard to justify. But I'll keep you posted on that. There's also an option for doing a virtual online auction, and we haven't discussed this yet, but Danny Hooper reached out to me. He's just recently he's actually in the middle of one that is online, and they have an auction that runs for, I think it's about a month, but then there's a part where they do a live auction and they actually engage people. So there's that. Membership survey, if you haven't completed it, please do so. We're getting some great comments in, and it really will help for building out the strategic plan and doing other planning for next year. So thank you for that. And quick shout out to Doug Webster, who donated a used iPad so that Natalia can join us for our meetings. So bright-faced Natalia, thanks to Doug Webster. So thank you. And that's it for me.
Thank you. Any other announcements?
I just have a question about, or a thought about the Rib Fest. Should we really be bringing in an outside group to feed them when our restaurants themselves are struggling? Could we not do something with our restaurants maybe, or just, you know, say thank you very much to Rib Fest, but we'll see them next year?
Yeah, it's a great thought. I think that's something we should absolutely explore.
Mark, would you send out that membership survey again? I think I lost it.
I can definitely do that. Thank you.
I know I lost it.
No, you have complete control of your faculties.
Okay, if there are no other announcements.
If no one has to say something, I just want to say thank you for everyone that's supporting my dad by like sending him text or anything. He that means a lot for him, and he really appreciates that. And he really hopes he can meet all of you this summer. But we'll see.
Thank you. So John, are you ready to go? You have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Jody is hiding the wine bottle for us in her private stash in her office. So it looks red to me, so that's a good sign. Natalia, I'm going to get you to pick a number between 1 and 42 for me, and we'll figure out who gets the bottle of wine this morning.
Okay, I'll say 40.
Number 40?
Yeah.
Okay, Zach, you're number 40. Zach, you get a bottle of wine? Give me shoot me a private message and I'll drop it off to you. And Frank, I still have to get your bottle of wine to you. So I'll try to get that done today.
Thank you.
All right, let's jump into some happy bucks because I think we could all use some good news. So who's got some happy bucks for us this morning?
I have one. The teachers at SAM have been amazing. They've been doing a great job with the remote schooling thing. It's not home schooling at all, it's remote. They have daily chats with my girls on their Google Classroom, and they've got all kinds of apps and software that they're using. So thumbs up to all of the teachers out there, and bravo.
Yeah. Awesome. Anyone else?
John, I've got one.
Yes, sir.
My little girl was promoted to sergeant today. So yeah, pretty exciting for her.
Awesome.
So we're very proud of her. So
wonderful. That's great news. Who else do we have?
I officially only have 1 year left in my first degree.
Your first degree.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have to get a couple.
Okay. Andre, we'll get you at Sad Bucks when you figure out that you have to pay for more than one degree. Wait, that's coming. Congratulations, Laura. Who else do we have?
Well, I got a
Okay.
I'll jump in. I'd like to give a happy buck out to Jennifer and her team at the Chamber. She's been relentless in promoting the businesses and all the activities that are going on in the community. And I just can't believe how many times she's posting things and encouraging people. And I think it's just fantastic. You really jump into it here in a tough time.
Wonderful. Who else we got?
I got
Ken McRae.
yeah, I'm happy I'm still working and life is as normal as it can be in this crazy situation, but it's business as usual for income tax.
Okay, I don't know how happy that is, but yeah, we'll take it anyway.
Well, I too like math.
Anyone else?
John, I would say that Education Week is next week, and the school districts are doing a really creative way of read-in for kids, and they're videotaping people and providing bedtime stories from a variety of people, and giving kids an opportunity to still get stories read to them, but just by other people than their teachers. So we have to celebrate Education Week next week.
Awesome. Well, that's lots of happy bucks. Do we have more? Going once, going twice. All right, I guess the rest of you are all miserable. We'll work on that. So for my finds, people seem to really enjoy the screenshot finds, so we'll carry on with them. Today's half ahead screenshot goes to Ed. We love you, Ed, but that's only half your head. So yeah. What else do I have here for you guys? Another good find. Yeah, it's always important to be cheery and positive, and nothing cheers you up like having balloons on your video. So Dave, thank you for cheering us all up with your balloons. That's great. Let's see what we have here. I love that people get up, get ready, get moving for the meeting, or they just stay in bed and do it right from bed. So Jill, thanks for giving us that share. Ken, I'm not really sure what you were showing us here. It's a bird eat fish world out there or something. I don't know. Maybe you just like showing fish getting murdered. I'm not entirely sure what you were doing there, but we'll take it. But I do have some good news on that note. The fish didn't give up. He got away. So I think that's important to point out. You never give up. And what else do we have here? It's important to introduce our guests when they're here, but Jody, if we can prove that you failed on that one, you didn't introduce your guests. So we'll take a fine out of you. And I think, let me just look through my list here. Yeah, that's all that I have for screenshot shares. So thank you to all the people that participated in that, whether you wanted to or not. And I will also say that for those of you that have not shared your screen, don't be scared. I'll fine you anyways. So let's see, Spanky, Zach, Andre, the three of you, I'm gonna hit you with a fine. Kim Doring Lindgren, you sort of have a picture of yourself there, but we know that that's just a photograph. And my final fine, Matt Carter, we know this is a breakfast meeting, but going and making yourself a bowl of cereal while the sergeant is on, that's gotta be fine. So I'm gonna hit you for a couple of bucks there, buddy. And with that, I'm all done. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. So I'd like to thank our exchange students this morning. Thank you, Bettina, and thank you for the others for telling us about your experience. I'd like to thank Teacher of the Month, the first time we've done it virtually. So huge thank you to Doug Webster for continuing the tradition. Thank you, Doug. And it's time for the four-way test.
Of the things we think they do, is it true?
Is it fair to
all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Great. Well, thanks everybody, and have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Have a great
And
weekend,
just one
everybody.
last thing, everyone. For your fines and happy bucks, if you could just email a couple of bucks to Laszlo, that would be wonderful.